Welcome to Lesson 45, Translating Between Words and Inequalities. We also, in Lesson 17, did a lesson on translating words and phrases into algebraic expressions. So you can refer back to your notes for Lesson 17 to find words and phrases that translate to addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. So first we're going to write in the definition of an inequality, which is a mathematical statement. Pen is not working. Sorry about the messiness. My goodness. Comparing quantities that are not equal. Hence the word inequality. See something wrong with my screen here. Okay, so obviously the inequality symbols are listed below. I want you to write into your notes what the phrases are that go with each of those symbols. So the first one is a less than symbol. So whatever quantity is on the left is going to be less than whatever the quantity on the right. And the next one is a greater than. So the opposite, the quantity on the left is greater than the quantity on the right. And you read it just like a sentence from left to right. Okay, and if you add a line under it, it becomes less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. And on the bottom, that symbol just means does not equal. And the box on the right is a caution box. I'd like you to fill in the blanks. Phrases like at least or at most are sometimes confusing because it actually translates to the inequality the opposite of what you would think. So the phrase at least means that the value on the right is going to be the lowest possible. So the inequality actually translates to greater than or equal to. Which is this symbol here. So at least is going to translate to the greater than or equal to symbol, which is the opposite of what you might think. So at most would translate to the opposite of that, which would be the less than or equal to symbol. So let's give this a try. Translate each sentence into an inequality. The difference of 3 and a number, you can just start there, because that's going to be the left-hand side of our inequality. So the difference of 3 and a number would be 3 minus a number, so we'll just use x. And then the inequality part is going to be less than, so we're going to use the less than symbol, and then 0. Okay, and then the next one, the sum, so now we're going to add of a number, which we'll use x, and 1/3 is at most. Now if you remember from your notes, at most actually means less than or equal to, because this phrase on the left, at most, can be 5/6, so it has to be less than 5/6 or equal to it. Okay, the next phrase, the quotient of 1 and a number. Remember, when you have quotient, it goes in order, so top and bottom, 1 and a number, is at least. Now remember, at least is also the opposite of what you might think, so it's greater than or equal to 8. And the last one here, the product of 3 and the sum of a number and 7. So the product of 3 and the sum of a number and 7, so x plus 7. So I have to multiply the sum of a number and 7 times 3. So I can write it like that. is at least, there's that phrase again, 1. So remember, at least means greater than or equal to 1. Okay, now we're going to start with an inequality and write it in our own words. So the first one here, we have the sum, it's adding, so we'll start with the sum of a number, here goes my screen again. Oh, it's not working. This is very weird. I'm just going to have to write it somewhere else. The sum of a number and 3, and then that is divided by, because it's a fraction, oh my goodness, divided by -2 is greater than, we're looking at the greater than symbol, -3. So we have a greater than symbol here. Oh my goodness. Okay, the next one, we have a number, which is m, minus 5, or you could say 5 less than a number, is, and our inequality symbol is a less than. So we're going to do less than, and then we have 8. Okay, and the next one, we have a number divided by 7.2. So I'm going to use the quotient. So the quotient of a number, remember you go from top to bottom in order, and 7.2. And maybe we'll use, instead of greater than or equal to, because it's long, we could use at least. Oops, I forgot the A. At least 4.6. Sorry about my messiness here. And the next example, we have the product of, so we're multiplying 6 and -5 minus a number is, maybe we'll use the whole thing this time, less than or equal to 15. And again, there are several ways that you could write all of these. These are just some examples of ways that you could write them out. Okay, our last problem for today. Carol buys a large bottle of juice for $4.50 and apples for 25 cents each. Write an inequality for how many apples she can buy if she can spend no more than $15. So this is a common situation that a person might come across while they're shopping. It may not be for juice and apples, but maybe something else. Maybe you're buying clothes or CDs, but you only have a certain amount of money to spend. So she's going to definitely be spending $4.50, and then she's going to be spending 25 cents per apple. So that's 25 cents times the number of apples that she buys. And she wants to spend no more than $15. So $15 is the highest it can go. So the amount of money that she's spending, which is this, has to be less than or equal to $15. And that's our inequality. And that's the end of today's notes. So thank you for listening and taking notes.